Alara, branded a traitor by the tyrannical consortium, clutched the rough bark of the whisperwind tree, its trunk so wide it swallowed the horizon. She'd run for weeks, fueled by grief and a burning desire for justice. Her family, dissidents advocating for resource redistribution, had been publicly executed, their names erased from the official records. Now, the Whisperwind, a mythical sanctuary rumored to house a hidden civilization, was her only hope. She navigated the colossal routes, each thicker than a consortium transport, and eventually found it, a spiraling staircase carved into the living wood, disappearing into the arboreal depths. The air grew heavy with the scent of damp earth and unknown blossoms. Strange, bioluminescent fungi illuminated the path, casting ethereal shadows that danced with her every move. Days blurred into nights. The climb was arduous, the silence broken only by the creaking of the ancient tree and her own ragged breaths. Just as despair began to gnaw at her resolve, the tunnel opened into a breathtaking vista. Before her lay Arborea, a city nestled within the colossal branches of the Whisperwind buildings, crafted from living wood, intertwined with cascading waterfalls and vibrant alien flora. Their large, iridescent eyes held an ancient wisdom. They moved with a fluid grace, their clothes fashioned from shimmering leaves and woven starlight. Alara was immediately apprehended. Her consortium rags marked her as an outsider, a threat. She was brought before Lyra, the elder Sylvan whose face was etched with the wisdom of centuries. Lyra questioned her with gentle firmness, her voice like the rustling of leaves in a gentle breeze. "Why have you come to Arborea, Outlander? Your clothes bear the mark of the consortium, a name that whispers of destruction and greed even here, in the heart of the Whisperwind." She spoke of the consortium's cruelty, the execution of her family, and her desperate flight seeking refuge. As she spoke, Lyra's expression softened, replaced with a deep sorrow. "The consortium's shadow reaches even here," Lyra said gravely. "Their thirst for power knows no bounds, but Arborea is a sanctuary. We offer shelter, not weapons of war. We have learned to live in harmony with the great tree, drawing strength from its wisdom and protecting its heart." Alara was granted asylum, but suspicion lingered. She was assigned to work in the living libraries, vast collections of knowledge etched onto leaves and bark, guarded by the ancient lorekeepers. Among the lorekeepers was Rian, a young Sylvan with a fiery spirit and a sharp intellect. Rian, despite initial reservations, became Alara's guide and confidant. She taught Alara the Sylvan language, their customs, and the intricate workings of Arborea. "The Whisperwind is more than just a tree, Alara," Rian explained one day as they were cataloging ancient texts. "Its roots delve deep into the planet's core, and its branches reach towards the stars. It is the source of Arborea's life, its protector, and its guide." Alara slowly began to adapt to the Sylvan way of life. She learned to cultivate the glowing fungi, weave starlight into fabric, and listen to the whispers of the wind that carried the tree's ancient secrets. She found solace in the quiet beauty of Arborea, a temporary respite from the burning rage that still simmered within her. But her past refused to remain buried. Inside, she found a collection of forbidden texts detailing the origins of the Sylvans and the true nature of the Whisperwind. The texts revealed a shocking truth. The Whisperwind was not merely a tree, but a colossal, sentient being from another galaxy, a living starship that had crash-landed on this planet centuries ago. The Sylvans were its descendants, evolved from the crew who had survived the crash. They were custodians of its dormant power, waiting for the day it would awaken and take them home. The darkness, the prophecy stated, would come from the stars, disguised as a force for progress and unity, but driven by a hunger for absolute power. Alara immediately recognized the description. It was the consortium. They weren't just a tyrannical regime. They were an interstellar threat, seeking to exploit the Whisperwind's power for their own nefarious purposes. She rushed to inform Lyra and the other elders, but her warnings were met with skepticism. The Sylvans had lived in peace and isolation for centuries. "The consortium is far away, Alara," Lyra said, her voice filled with concern. "Arborea is safe within the embrace of the great tree. We have no need to fear them." But Alara knew better. She had seen the consortium's ruthlessness firsthand. She knew they would stop at nothing to achieve their goals. She had to convince the Sylvans of the danger, even if it meant defying their ancient traditions. With Rion's help, Alara began to gather evidence. They scoured the living libraries, piecing together fragments of information, old maps, and forgotten technologies that hinted at the consortium's growing presence in the surrounding systems. A faction within Arborea, led by a power-hungry Sylvan named Zale, saw Alara as a dangerous disruptor. Zale believed that the Sylvans should embrace the consortium, offering them the Whisperwind's resources in exchange for protection and technological advancements. Zale secretly contacted the consortium, informing them of Alara's presence and her knowledge of the Whisperwind's true nature. The consortium, eager to seize the opportunity, dispatched a fleet of warships to the planet's orbit. The arrival of the consortium fleet sent shockwaves through Arborea. Panic erupted as they realized that their sanctuary was about to be invaded. Lyra, realizing her error, turned to Alara for guidance. "What must we do, Alara?" she asked, her voice trembling. "How can we protect Arborea from this evil?" Alara knew that they couldn't fight the consortium with conventional weapons. The Sylvans were peaceful beings, not warriors. Their only hope lay in awakening the Whisperwind's dormant power. "We must activate the core," Alara said, "the Whisperwind's central energy source." Activating the core was a perilous task. It required navigating the labyrinthine pathways within the Whisperwind's trunk, overcoming ancient security systems, and confronting the guardians who protected the core from unauthorized access. Alara, Ryan, and a small group of loyal Sylvans embarked on the dangerous mission. They faced numerous challenges: treacherous terrain, automated defenses, and the sabotage attempts of Zale and his followers. Along the way, Alara discovered hidden abilities within herself. She realized that her connection to the tree was stronger than she had ever imagined. She could feel the tree's pain, its fear, and its immense power. As they approached the core, they were ambushed by Zale and his forces. A fierce battle ensued, the peaceful chambers of the Whisperwind echoing with the clash of weapons and the cries of the wounded. Rian fought valiantly, protecting Alara from Zale's attacks. But Zale was a skilled warrior, and Rian was no match for his strength. Zale struck Rian down, leaving her gravely wounded. She channeled the Whisperwind's energy, creating a powerful surge of force that blasted Zale and his followers away. With Zale defeated, Alara and the remaining Sylvans finally reached the core. It was a vast chamber, filled with pulsating energy and shimmering light. In the center of the chamber stood a colossal crystal, the heart of the Whisperwind's power. Alara approached the crystal and placed her hand upon its surface. She closed her eyes and focused her mind, reaching out to the Whisperwind's consciousness. "Arborea is in danger. We need your strength to protect us." The crystal began to glow brighter, bathing the chamber in an intense light. The Whisperwind stirred, its ancient power awakening. The ground trembled, and the air crackled with energy. Outside, the consortium fleet prepared to launch its attack, but before they could fire a single shot, the Whisperwind unleashed a wave of energy that engulfed the entire planet. The energy wave disabled the consortium warships, rendering them powerless. It also created a protective shield around Arborea, making it impenetrable to any outside force. Arborea was safe thanks to Alara's courage and the awakening of the Whisperwind. But the awakening of the Whisperwind came at a cost. The tree had expended a great deal of energy, leaving it weakened and vulnerable. It needed time to recover, to replenish its power. Alara, now hailed as a hero by the Sylvans, dedicated herself to healing the Whisperwind. She worked tirelessly, channeling her energy into the tree, nurturing it, and protecting it from any further harm. Rian, miraculously, survived her injuries. In the end, Alara found justice, not in revenge against the consortium, but in protecting the innocent and preserving the sanctity of life. She had found a new home, a new family, and a new purpose in the heart of the Whisperwind. She was no longer a runaway, but a guardian, a protector, a beacon of hope for the Sylvans and for all who sought refuge within the branches of the great tree. And she knew, deep in her heart, that one day the Whisperwind would awaken fully and take its children home to the stars.